Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your mid-February 2019 astrology and tarot reading. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, please do subscribe. It would be great to have you here. So Sagittarius, the stars at the moment. There's a lot of very interesting fire energy, but that fire energy is going to shift. So the energy change in the second half of February is going to be quite strong, but it's a positive change. February has been a very, very good month in terms of the astrology. So, starting on the 13th of February, there's going to be this conjunction between Mars and Aries, and this is going to be in your sector of romance, of fame, of creativity, of pleasure. So there may be something very unexpected there, and that's a fun way to have this transit, okay? That is interesting, that's exciting, that is adventurous energy. You know, it's hitting some people in career and it's hitting some people in family and stuff, and there can be unexpected and strange developments there. But for you, you could have love at first sight. You could have a surprise pregnancy. You could have a surprise call out of the blue from somebody that you really like. Your feelings could come to the fore in exciting and unexpected ways. It's actually I think for you, you're going to like it. The moon is in Gemini on Valentine's Day, so you may feel like you want to stay closer to home. Neptune is forming a T-square there with the moon in your sector of home and family, so you might be feeling a little bit more introverted with this energy, and because the moon is in your partnership sector, it translates to staying at home with a partner. If you're completely single, it might be worthwhile using Valentine's Day to really get to grips with what the ideal partnership would be for you, Sagittarius. To have Jupiter in your sign over the next year suggests that you can do a lot of growth in terms of manifesting. So seeing your own potential, seeing your own personal power to make the world what you want it to be. As a natural optimist, that sort of thing, that sort of positive outlook comes naturally to you, but it's not guaranteed at all points. Now, you've had Mars in your romantic sector, so you've probably had more confidence to pursue. Mars is shifting on the 15th into Taurus, which puts more emphasis and energy into your work sector, into your well-being, into your health, your fitness, your exercise. You might suddenly declutter your house. You might suddenly clean out your fridge. You might change your diet. Mars here is very, very positive. It's not actually been here since 2017. And it's a welcome change, Sagittarius, and not to throw any shade or any judgment, but when Jupiter's in your sign, I had it in mine last year, it can make you indulge in excesses in certain forms. So to have Mars go into your health sector really gives you a bit more discipline with things like that. It's great to enjoy the good things in life, but a bit of balance with what's good for your body that may not seem the best fun at the time is positive in its own way. Now, although Mars is shifting out of Aries and Uranus is shifting out of Aries next month, Chiron, the wounded healer, does move into Aries on the 18th. So, although this is coming into your love sector, because it's been in Scorpios since 2011, and for you to have the wounded healer in your love sector, you know, as I'm a Scorpio, I have personal experience in this. If you have wounds related to your romantic life, be prepared to work through them, because that's what Chiron does. Chiron was a Greek philosopher who could heal everybody but himself. And whenever Chiron is in your sign, Chiron is not actually an irksome transit as though it may seem from an outsider's perspective at first. What it actually does is bring awareness to what you need to heal and helps you heal. So if you are, for example, finding that you're dating the same person over and over again in a different body, it's trying to give you awareness of what it is that you don't want, or what it is that you need to avoid, or what needs to change. It's something you can really grow through, and you can heal through creativity. You may find fame under this sector. You may find yourself working with people in the industry, people who are artists, people who are creative for a living, really, or you may live through your creativity. This can also heal aspects to do with children or your parents. Your inner child can get healed in this transit, looking back to childhood and realizing what it is that may have harmed you and going back and working through it, doing a lot of work with your inner child. Forgiving yourself for past mistakes as a child, forgiving yourself for love mistakes. Discovering that no, you're actually not unlovable. That type of energy. And then on the 18th, the reason I'm using the Oceanic deck, the Sun moves into Pisces, joining Mercury and Neptune there. You may, as with Valentine's night, the energy may shift inward. You might want more time at home. And then the Virgo Supermoon on the 19th, bringing you success in career, big reveals in career, maybe a new path becomes apparent to you, a new road to travel down, pay rise, new goals. Sagittarius, the world is your oyster. And you can do a lot from home in this day and age. You know, think back to the olden days. Well, olden days. How far are we going? The Stone Age. But in times where you didn't have computers, you didn't have the world, people couldn't work from home the way they can now. That sort of aspect can be very positive for you if you want to set up a business from home or you want to spend more time at home. You can still have that connection to the outside world while you're sort of in hermit energy. 5 of Wands, competition. 8 of Wands, travel. 8 of Swords in the positive position, restriction. That's interesting. Ace of Cups in the challenge, Sagittarius. And the Queen of Pentacles as the outcome. Off the bat, we have earth sign energy. And underneath, we have death. Okay, Scorpio energy. But transformation at its best. Now, okay, so Mars in Taurus, Queen of Pentacles energy. You could be dealing with a Virgo, Taurus, or a Capricorn. I think for a lot of you, you are facing some kind of romantic challenge there, which is interesting. For some of you, you possibly come out of a breakup. Death card can symbolize that. And the 8 of Swords means you've broken free of some kind of restriction because it is in the positive position. So 8 of Swords is all about feeling restricted, feeling trapped, feeling unable to move. That's being lifted. But with the challenge being the Ace of Cups, romance is taking an interesting turn. Now, this may be because in the month of February, starting from the 3rd, Venus moved into Capricorn, Queen of Pentacles. It may be to do with focusing more on your money situation and your self-worth and your value rather than going headfirst into a new relationship, particularly if you've come out of one. Work-wise, you may feel as we begin the second half of February with that awkward Mars conjunct Uranus transit, although it is romantic, you may feel as though you don't have much to offer at the moment, possibly to do with circumstance. Or you may feel like there is a lack of love in some area. Or you may feel, Sagittarius, that no matter what you do, you feel there's some sort of competitive attitude coming from the people you're trying to connect with, whether they're trying to play games with you to remain in power, in control of a situation. This could be work, this could be romance. People being competitive is irritating you, and perhaps your competitiveness on the flip side has irritated people too. Mars in Aries is competitive, and Uranus in Aries surprises people with their competitive nature. And although that transit is ending, and we're taking a shift from Aries, we're not completely free of Chiron's influence, where the need to impress, the need to be considered strong, the need to be considered brave, the need to be considered tough, is all being looked at and revisited through new eyes. So the people that are in your life that have been competitive, you're maybe realizing the people around you were more to do with agendas stemming from their own insecurity. Or you may start to realize that your own competitive nature has come from a place of inadequacy, possibly from the need to impress one parent. Maybe it was a parent who was an earth sign and you felt like you could not be the expansive free spirit that Sagittarian children so often are. You know, the schooling system doesn't always suit the Sagittarian child. The sit and be silent aspect of schooling can be very difficult. Taking children out into nature expands a Sagittarian's mind. You might not have got that with a parent or childhood, but there's some competitive issue here, but we'll know more as we go along. 10 of Wands, responsibility. It is the need to impress or be impressive. Feeling as though possibly, if it's romantic as well, that you're being judged by what you do and what type of bank balance you have. Competing with people that seem to be more typically successful than you in your own head. Or you feel like people are competing with your success. This is very interesting in terms of career, I must say. That Virgo supermoon is going to reveal some insecurities from people that you work with in terms of their feeling towards you. Or it's going to reveal some insecurities with the way you work. But it's a supermoon, which gives you this kind of superpower in your career to make things happen. And you may be so illuminated in the workplace that people do feel a little bit threatened. Because full moons can make people act out. Seven of Cups, possibility in your positive sector. So you are having many things come through at the end of February that give you a lot of food for thought. A lot of different avenues, a lot of different ways to express what you're good at. The Hanged Man in the challenge. There is romantic limbo in the challenge. For those of you that are dating somebody, you may be feeling a little bit slow moving, especially if it's an earth sign. They're notorious for that. Or you may be feeling like there's such a lack of romance that you're becoming hyper aware of it. Now bear in mind with this Mars conjunct Uranus aspect in your 5th house, that whatever your situation is right now could change very quickly. Strength, stability, kindness and stability. And underneath we have the 6 of Cups, reflection. 6 of Cups can often indicate some kind of past influence in a situation, an old person in a new environment, fear of the mundane, fear of the same old. You may be hung up on a past love, possibly a Leo or possibly an earth sign that you're finding hard to move from. Now, with strength here in the Queen of Pentacles, you may be too reliant on somebody else for help. You may feel as though your happiness is dependent upon somebody else. Or their happiness might be dependent on you. 6 of Cups can be that past lover feeling. Or you've met somebody before. That moon in Gemini, T-square with Neptune. And then it's connecting as well with Jupiter in your sign. You are thinking about the past a bit. And it might not be for the obvious reasons. You might not miss the way things were. But there may be something within it. There's some kind of key in the past that you need to reflect on in order to move forward. If it is an earth sign, if it is a Leo, there is some need for movement. Doing nothing will generate more nothing. There's some kind of need for action. And I would imagine that Uranus conjunct Mars aspect, you're probably going to make that offer or that call. 9 of Pentacles, gratitude. 10 of Swords, endings in your fears. Page of Swords, gossip is in the positive. So you hear something you like. You hear something from somebody, a friend of a friend maybe. Something that piques your interest, something that makes you excited. Death in the challenge. Some of you are dealing with a Scorpio, or some of you are very much finding it hard to move past from an old relationship. The Sun, but you find that happiness. Okay. Knight of Cups, proposals. There's romance coming in for a lot of the signs. This is making a lot of sense for Valentine's, I think, I suppose, but the Sun. Wow. A lot of Leo energy, but I also feel as though you're most commonly connected with an earth sign of some kind. I actually think a lot of you possibly dealt with grief of someone who was an earth sign maybe, or somebody who just was incredibly kind. And the grief is making you pull yourself up again. You're dreaming about this person, you're thinking about this person, you're having strange spiritual experiences, coincidences. And then for some of you, you're figuring out what it is to look after yourself in the best way possible. Being kinder to yourself, because the Sun and strength can be tending to that inner child that is upset. That inner child that feels hurt, that inner child that feels abused in some way, that inner child that feels very alone. And the sun represents you coming out of that into the sunshine. For a lot of you, it's digging deep to an ending or to some kind of hurt, some sort of ego bruise. And then you're transforming with the strength energy. You're giving yourself the attention and the love you deserve. And when you do that, you seem to open up possibilities in romance. Knight of Cups, it could be a water sign, but it's most commonly representative of romance. I think for a lot of you, it's an earth sign though, but it could be air. It could be any. It's important always to look at the moon and rising too. Let there be light. The sun is going to come out again for you, Sagittarius. It's funny though. Jupiter in your sign can almost feel, and I experienced this with a lot of Scorpio people last year in the readings. Jupiter in Scorpio can almost deliver, and this is me being a bit tough, so this isn't intended to harm, it's just intended to advise and see things from a different perspective. Jupiter in Scorpio can often arouse feelings of entitlement for wish fulfillment on a consistent basis. That's not the way Jupiter works. Jupiter doesn't want you to lie there and wait for him to give you gifts. He's very generous, but generosity only goes so far. Sometimes Jupiter simply wants you to feel, firstly, like you deserve the kind of reward that he wants to give. So, if you're coming to Jupiter with an unhappy or ungrateful attitude, you will not receive. If you come to Jupiter with a 9 of Pentacles attitude of gratitude, rather than Jupiter posing a responsibility, so it must fulfill your wishes, if you come to this with a sense of gratitude, you will be pleasantly surprised at how often the sun will shine for you. Do not resist change, because it will feel a lot more intense than it is, even if it is incredibly intense. The Hanged Man, the resistance, refusing to see things from a different perspective, refusing to open up to what is new and what is fresh, will keep you in a place of stagnant air. If you respond with kindness and you use the strength mentality, where she's comfortable challenging the beast and taming the beast because she's confident that she can. If she was fearful, and I know that this looks different in the mermaid image, but he is freeing the fish from this net. And we have the Eight of Swords restriction in the positive. You're breaking free, or you're helping others break free. That's actually a point of Chiron. Chiron does help you to heal if you help heal others, be it children, be it romantically. If you offer love and you offer compassion and you offer kindness, you will find the rewards are greater. But you'll also find such a reward from that experience in terms of feeling that you won't be looking for anything else. However, though happiness is promised in February, at the end of February, going into March, Sun in Pisces season can feel quite challenging at times for Sagittarian people. You feel a lot more complete in yourself when the Sun moves into Aries. You're much more likely to embrace the new energy when it does. But there's something very, very wonderful about the inner strength that you're accessing. As I say, the key may be in something to do with your past, but it's going to release a feeling of happiness for you. And I know that this isn't sounding necessarily predictive, but yes, past life. The situation involves past life memories. The past has some kind of answer that you need to think about. Una, easy does it. There is no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. We also have blossoming, so something is blossoming. You're just getting started, so have patience with yourself. The situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. Don't break down. Don't back down. Stand up for what you believe is right, and you're supplied for today and all of your tomorrow. So take it easy as we go into Pisces season, Sagittarius. It is kind of nesting season whenever the sun's in your 4th house. Get a bit of rest. Go easy on yourself when you're feeling a bit emotional or a bit wobbly. Chiron going into the 5th, it is a bit tricky. And it's only tricky in the sense that it can, it can sort of give you a bit more insight to your own feelings than maybe you would have expected. So much happens in our subconscious. It's the biggest mystery to human beings possible besides actual death. But something from the past needs to be addressed, and in doing so, you blossom into something very abundant. A lot of happiness here. Strength in the sun is getting something you want through patience. So be patient. Something lovely is happening for you. It might not happen right now, it might not happen tomorrow, but it's taking its time for a reason. It just feels longer than it is. So I'm going to draw a love card real quick before we go. This lovely little deck by Belinda Grace, True Love Tarot cards. Oh. The Divine Feminine, gorgeous. So the Divine Feminine is nurturing energy. I actually did a post about the feminine, masculine energies in terms of distortion on my Instagram. But the Divine Feminine is all about being comfortable in your own skin. It's very like the Strength card. Very confident in your abilities of nurture, of care, being able to look after somebody. And you can't look after anybody else unless you're looking after yourself. But you can also heal yourself a lot by healing others, being there for others, being a good friend, a good partner, a good daughter, a good son, a good parent, a good lover, anything. Divine Feminine, you find healing through helping others. By feeling comfortable in your own skin, by feeling confident in who you are, finding the person that you want to find will only occur when you're truly authentic with who you are. So I hope you enjoyed that reading, Sagittarius, and pulled something from it. I'll see you in the next set of readings. I love you guys. Bye.